Let's see the idea of mantra first. In Sanskrit, we have a definition of mantra. Mananal tranane iti mantra, with which you cross your mind, is mantra, with which you understand your mind and cross it. And so mantra is a tool to cross the mind. When you cross the mind, you reach to the source, the witness state. Being together with the witness is the idea of spirituality. When you use the term spiritual, the dictionary meaning of spirituality is deep knowing. With the instrument of knowing is mind. With the mind, you study the mind. And with the mind, you put off your mind. And it's not that easy to put off the mind, because mind exists in activity. Putting off the activity of the mind is equivalent to no mind. So masters have designed certain techniques to put off the mind by involving the mind into an activity, employing the idea of focusing, and slowly making the mind bored so that the mind starts to relax and sleep. When the mind sleeps, if you are not sleeping, the mind is sleeping but you are not sleeping, you transcend to the deeper levels. You go into the higher levels. And when you go to the deeper levels of your own consciousness, you are very spiritual and you understand what is it. Without knowing the mind, you cannot cross the mind. And so this is used, mantra is used as a tool to understand the mind and its behavior and cross the ocean of the mind. It is like a big ocean where a lot of things are there. So that's why they define mantra like that. With which you cross the mind is mantra. How we could cross the mind? By using a mantra. Masters have coined a lot of sounds, potential sounds. Potential in the sense that which can drop down, go deep. It has a special dynamism. In our language, we use a lot of sounds. Attached with the sound, there is a lot of meaning. And on the basis of the meaning, we understand everything which is presented before us. In our process of understanding what we do is, we are creating certain ideation of the sound or the meaning, and then we attach ourselves with the ideation, and we confirm with the ideation, and we feel we have understood it. This is how we programmed our mind to understand. So when we are using the mind, using the mantra, when you are using the mantra, what is happening is, you focus your attention on a particular sound. We take the example of a mantra like a small sound, like a sound Om or whatever. Om, Aim, Klim, sound. There are many potential sounds, bija mantras. You go on repeating the sound. There are many different types of practice with mantra. You loudly speak, you just with lip movements you do. Maybe mentally you recite the mantra, you write the mantra, you make the mantra, you make portraits of your desired deity by writing down and repeating it all the time. It's all with an idea that when you are repeating anything, you will get bored in course of time. When I say this, actually it is a challenging point for the practitioners of mantra. I am trying to figure out what happens in your mind when you do the mantra. When you start practicing a mantra, you are staying in the conscious level of the mind. You are on the thought process. Your mind assumes a thought which is a mantra. The mantra works as the thought. Or you create a thought of the mantra and you put this mantra in your conscious mind by constantly repeating it. You are not allowing it to just slip away. You focus, you repeat. When you repeat anything, what will happen is the mind gets bored because it has to do constantly the same thing over and over and over again. Mind is not really interested in this. It wants to explore new horizons all the time. This is the nature of the mind. And that mind is going to be tamed into a particular direction to entertain the same thought again and again and again. When you do this, the mind starts to sleep. It gets bored. When you are bored, you sleep. This is what happens. When you are going to sleep, your physiology starts to relax. All your physiological activities comes down. As your physiological activities comes down, your conscious mind slips from that region towards the subconscious. This is what actually happens in the recitation of mantra. So you slowly starts to move from the peripheral level of the mind to the deeper levels of the mind. Your subconscious gets activated. When your subconscious is activated, you get more and more rest, and they give and take each other. The rest push you down to the subconscious, and from the subconscious, when you are there in the subconscious, you get more rest. And so when you get more and more rest, you go deeper and deeper. And at a certain point, you may sleep. That's the point. The moment when your physiological activities are cutting down to the minimum and you are entering into sleep, that's the point you are focusing again now to sleep. Then you create another dimension, that is sleeping with awareness. In the sense, you get rest equivalent to the sleep, but you are not sleeping. This is a third dimension. You create this third condition, sleeping with awareness. That means you are resting with awareness. If you can rest with awareness for some time, the rest will increase and you slips down into the deeper areas of the mind. Sometimes you may slip into the superconscious area, where there is no time, no space, nothing. But you are aware. Simple awareness remains. You are aware of everything that's happening, but you are not sleeping, but you are restful. You get into a third dimension, which is the dimension of restful alertness. Restful alertness is meditation. And when you are staying in the restful alert state, whatever there in the mind, when you are in a state of restful alertness, whatever there in your mind will be revealed to you, because you are so relaxed, and anything that surfaces in the mind will be seen and understood because you are so relaxed. So this is the way you understand your mind. You do the recitation of the mantra by slipping from the conscious level to the subconscious to the deeper levels. By crossing, you will see everything which is there on the way. It will be surfaced and you see. And finally, you explore the ocean of the mind. And then you go into the deeper part of the mind, which is the superconscious state, and you establish that. This is the purpose of mantra. That is why it is called crossing the mind. Actually, you are crossing the conscious and subconscious areas of the mind. It is not stopping anything, just crossing. When you cross any region, whatever is there, you will be understood, you will be seen. All the faculties which are there, all the functions which are there will be understood by the person who is crossing, by the being who is alert. And thereby you enter into a state of integration with the superconscious state. That is the purpose of mantra. So it is actually a great tool. It's a tricking technique. The mind is habituated in slipping points after points after points continuously. This is the nature of the mind, like a drunk monkey. This drunk monkey is asked to repeat the same thing for a long time. 100,008 times you repeat it. Certainly, your physiology will rust because you don't want to do it. And you get bored and start to slip down into sleep. But because you are doing with the japamala, you are not sleeping because your thumb is continuously operating and you are aware that you are doing this. This is how you keep the awareness and you get into rest. And sleeping with awareness or restful alertness is meditation. And through mantra, you get into restful alertness. Restful alertness takes you down to the deeper consciousness and you integrate there, you rest there. This is how you cross the mind. That's why mantra is defined in this way. Mananal tranane, the mind is gone. Iti mantra. And this is a technique. So, how does mantra help a person to cultivate spirituality? That was the last part of the earlier question. So, actually, this is the spiritual work. This is a technique which we introduce to get into the deeper area. Going to the depth of our being is spirituality. Spirituality is not other than knowing deeply. The peripheral sides of things we are aware of. And there are people who are not aware of even the peripheral side of activity of the mind. But people who really wanted to know, they certainly will be able to know what is there in the peripheral side easily, because it is expressed all the time. An observer can understand. Usually we don't go to the depth of our mind. When you go into the depth of our mind, we see the thoughts, the inspirations, the vasanas. Vasanas means the latencies. We also see samskaras, the culture, the deeper culture. And everything comes from the vasanas and samskars. Everything you will see. And then you cross and you understand what is there in its source. And you realize that you are the witness. And when you realize that you are the witness, you are at the depth of your being. A person who stays at the depth of his being is a very spiritual person. This is spirituality. So it is a mantra, is a tool to reach there, as I have been explaining. You put yourself in the peripheral side of mind by creating a thought of mantra, stays with it, be aware of it, it slips down to the subconscious, it slips down further to the unconscious, to the superconscious state. And there you establish integration with your own self. And you have established your spirituality. So it helps. And without mantra also you can simply do by observation. By other practices you can reach there. Mantra is a tool. But there is a problem with mantra, because if you constantly operate with something, whatever you do with that something will become potential. When something becomes potential in the mind, that will function as a barrier. Then you have to cross that barrier. And that's a difficult program. You have to really push it aside, finally. With the mind, you understand the mind, and finally you have to drop the tool which you have been using for crossing. Like the story Ramakrishna was saying to his disciple. You happen to be in a place surrounded by lake where a lot of crocodiles are living. And so no way they will kill you. And when a person was trying to really cross the crocodiles, he has seen a boat. He jumped into the boat and he rowed and he crossed. Because he crossed and escaped, he got an attachment with this boat. So how can you leave the boat? It has given me life. And so he started to carry the boat on his head. So this problem can happen for a practitioner, if he is not aware of the purposes for which you have been using this. So be always aware of the purpose. When the purpose is fulfilled, drop the two and be free. Then you are established. This is a system which is created by some masters, using mantra for some purposes. That defeats the very purpose of spirituality. But why we do this kind of stuff? Mantra is the tool to cross. You make use of the mantra for achieving certain things. So it defeats the whole purpose. But there is a tradition like that. And if it is defeating the whole purpose, why should we do that? But we do. Masters are not fools. If they are fools, they could not be named as masters. They do with a purpose. The purpose is, if you have some desires, you have to fulfill your desires, otherwise you will not be able to cross. You are a human being, you have a lot of desires, better go and work it out. That is what a person has to do. Instead of that, a person is sitting there chanting mantra to fulfill the purposes. By chanting mantra, how can you fulfill the purpose? Certainly you can also fulfill the purpose. Because you make your mind potential in the idea which you wanted to fulfill. That's what you do. You continuously do this, thereby the idea becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. The idea slips down from the conscious mind to the subconscious. When it reaches the subconscious, whatever presented to the subconscious is a reality for the person. So he concretizes his subtle ideas and then he knows what it is. We get into desires and experience and all these things actually for fulfillment. Fulfillment comes only by proper understanding. Here you make it very potential, that concretizing it, that you will know what it is. And when once you know, you can cross it. That's the reason why masters have designed it. But it's a path. It's a path. Some people likes it. The idea of mantra is to take you from the grosser level to the subtle level. Subtle level of your mind. So if you are really writing, of course after some time you integrate, you focus and you don't see anything outside of you, because you are focusing only what you are doing. And when you get into that focusing, everything other than that is eliminated, so that the mental activity subsides and you integrate with that. So this is a technique. Well, among these the techniques, the seemingly most effective technique is just not reciting the mantra, but thinking about the mantra. Subtler than that is just feeling the mantra. Not reciting loudly, not with lip movements, not thinking about it, but just feeling it. There are mantras with sounds and mantras with meaning, mantras with both sounds and meaning. And so one needs to feel the idea of the mantra. It's not thinking, not repeating, but feeling what it is. Just to feel what it is. The meaning which the mantra carries. And if there is no meaning, it is only a sound, feel the sound. You're just feeling this, you feel the sound. After some time, this feeling will creep through your whole system. Because feeling is a very, very powerful system which is naturally there in our system. So you just feel it and stay. That could be the most powerful technique of use of mantra. Feeling the essence of mantra. And Patanjali in Yoga Sutra, he says, realizing the meaning of practicing with devotion, the meaning and the essence of the mantra Om will lift you up to the realization of God. God is expressed as the mantra Om according to Patanjali. So you have to feel what it is. What is the meaning behind this sound? And feel the meaning. Now for this sound there are three different sounds like A, U and A portrays a meaning which is creation. U portrays the meaning of sustenance. And withdrawal. Feeling how you feel it. You fully focus and you feel what is happening in this process. Feel how it comes up, how the sound is generated in you, how it opens up, and feel how it is sustained, and feel how it withdraws. When it is withdrawn, you are in silence. You have established the mantra. This is how you feel.